Yeah, superstars wherever you look. We're so familiar with them all now after that longest NRLW season yet, culminating with the epic grand final less than a fortnight ago now. And there is the other debutant, Jess Elliston, part of that 1-2 punch in the front row with Shannon Martor, who was born in New Zealand, represents Australia, the number 8 for the Jillaroos here today. Both of them so impressive for the Titans in their run to the grand final. Then you got Izzy Kelly and her experience with Jess Surgis on the other side in the centres. Yeah,
it's great to have Jess Surgis back playing footy, but the value that Brad Donald will get out of his front row is immense. They get through plenty of work in a long period of time, so he'll be able to use his rotation. And to let everyone know, this is under NRLW rules, this game, not international rules, so it'll be 70 minutes. They should have their 10 interchanges, so hot weather, they'll be glad of that.
So away we go, the international season underway, and Australia get there on the fall through Ali Brigginshaw, and it is Martor off the back fence first up, and look at that greeting. Taken back, no post-contact meters on offer there.
No, they've set the tone nice and early, and I've always thought that that would be such a strength for this Kiwi Ferns side, is their pack. But Samaima Taufa, great run.
Keely Davis is the dummy half. Martor ready to go again. There's that combination and understanding with Elliston, but she's taken backwards as well.
Well, they've done their homework, the Kiwis. We always knew, Alana spoke about how strong this pack is. We're seeing it on display to start this game.
And there's Kernick on the left edge for the Jillaroos. No Yasmin Clydesdale, suspended from her act in the grand final. She'll be right for the rematch in a couple of weeks. Here's Elliston, up over halfway she goes, and there's some forward momentum this time for the final play. Oh, lost it though. A mistake from the debutant, and New Zealand grab some early field position.
Yeah, this is a great place to start for the Kiwi Ferns, but just through their defence, that pressure, they were getting 3 in every tackle. She's certainly got that play the ball wrong, Elliston, but that's pressure. Up in their face, numbers in the tackle, winning the play the balls. Now they get their chance, the Kiwis.
An easy early call for the referee, Todd Smith, assisted by Ashley Klein in the bunker, and Belinda Sharp and Darian Ferner on the touchlines. Here's Shanice Parker, head-to-head with Isabel Kelly. Biddle floats one to McGregor, who had to stretch and find Hilmoana. Strong defence over the top from Taufa in company with Shannon Martor. And that went forward. Well, clunkiness on display from New Zealand. They weren't ready to go with their first set and cough it up early.
Well, nerves on display from both sides here, so now the Kiwis are going to have to rely on this physicality that they have, but this will be a good play the ball by Shannon Martor.
Taufa just had to hold her run and wait for Davis to find her. Now Taryn Aiken. Well, no looker for Kernick. Just held onto the footy. To Samaima Taufa again. Nice tackle by Anderson. Look at the depth on the right-hand side for Brigginshaw to go to Upton. First touch for the Jillaroos. A little bit of showboating for Robertson, and there was a gap there for Surgis, who could not hold on.
Oh, that's a high tackle too.
No advantage from the knock-on. Last tackle got a handover.
Handover. Well, wasn't this crafty? Ali Brigginshaw finds Tamika Upton, which after watching that NRLW season, you'll know that she's now got a kicking game. So she's got that run, pass, kick, threat. And this was well and truly on. That should have been a try for Jess Surgis. So keep an eye out for her and how she wants to redeem herself. But pretty crafty, very dangerous stuff from the Jillaroos.
Lockie, 3 minutes in, and unsurprisingly, Samaima Taufa in the blood bin.
Yeah, Australia versus New Zealand, it's always pretty physical early, and there's a little bit of blood spilt. Yeah, just on the conditions, look, in the sun, it's warm here, but the ground's now in full shade, so it's the perfect conditions for the girls out there. There is a breeze coming from the northeast, which is behind the Jillaroos, and that's why Ali Brigginshaw, when she won the toss, chose to run in that direction. So perfect conditions, and I'm sure we'll see plenty of ball movement.
Thank you, Lockie. We're looking forward to seeing these teams click in attack. Hasn't happened quite yet, but Tamika Upton looking ominous with her first touch. Did some things at training this week that had everyone looking on and just saying, wow.
She's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Her skill set. Yeah, that was a great run. But just the way she builds on each performance too. Constantly asking new questions of the defence. Should be a nightmare.
Georgia Hale taken backwards. One of the co-captains for New Zealand, along with Racine McGregor, the number 7.
The two Titans teammates were in there, shutting down that threat she has with the ball movement. And Ray McGregor's inside the 40 for this kick.
Taken on the full by Robinson, who moved to Townsville with the Army in 2017. Private Julia Robinson, never played rugby league until then, took it up in this town and returns as a seasoned Jillaroo now.
Pretty special as well. It's the first time the Jillaroos have played in town. A good run, Brigginshaw. Straight through the
Upton's there in support, and what a dream start to her Test career. It's been a long time coming to Mika Upton in the Jillaroos jumper, but it's worth the wait.
Oh, wasn't it ever? That's all class, but it started with the veteran Ali Brigginshaw and her ability to just react to what the defence is doing. We quite often see her first off the rack with a little bit of space, but that one marker's down and there was just a little bit of a break in between that next defender, and she knows when to pounce. But the support play from Tamika Upton, they've got a great little combination, the two of them. Look at that from Ali Brigginshaw. To go through that first line of defence, the support play was perfect. She's got the speed, she's got the recognition. What an opening from the Jillaroos.
It certainly was, and it was a great play the ball. Izzy Kelly and Jess Surgis get through so much work in the backfield. They work hard for a quick play the ball, and it allows their really smart players to jump out like Brigginshaw. And then Upton is just pushing up really beautifully, and then the person supporting her was Jess Surgis as well. Pretty impressive, Lockie.
Yeah, great initiative by the captain. You know, she wears the 7 on her back, but she went into dummy half, knew there was a marker missing, and she decided to take it on. So instead of just standing out there waiting at first receiver, she went to the game and she sets up the first try. She did get winded at the same time though, but good start, and here she comes, about to add the extras.
Ali Brigginshaw does make it 6-0. Tamika Upton, before she was winning back-to-back comps with the Newcastle Knights, she won a couple with the Brisbane Broncos, of course, and that combination with Ali Brigginshaw that they had back then was coming home to roost here in Townsville.
Oh, for sure. Just that timing to work with one another. It's quite special when you find that with a teammate. Sometimes you don't even have to speak about it. But yeah, they've got that lovely little combination. I'm sure that's not the last time we'll see it in this game.
Here's Aiken on the other side, another former Bronco who tore it up with the Roosters in her first season in Sydney. Davis comes back to Taufa. Jacaranga Katoa, her work rate has been high, the number 10 for New Zealand, from the St George Illawarra Dragons, of course. Chance for an attacking kick here, just inside the 40. Plenty going on there in the ruck. Hilmawana given the benefit of the doubt. So pressure on the kick from Brigginshaw. Surgis leading the chase, but Arpy Nichols safe underneath it.
It was a good kick from Ali Brigginshaw. Got a lot of height, so it allowed the chase to get there in time. They would have been desperate for this set, the Kiwis.
Was referenced by Racine McGregor in the interview with Danica Mason what these outside backs give them out of yardage in this game. We saw it from Biddle there first up. And here's Tafunga off the other wing. Yeah,
well, you'll just watch as she finds a half gap Biddle. She just powers up through it. She has so many line breaks, such a powerful ball carrier.
Parker stopped in her tracks by Elliston and Davis. Then able to drag them about 8 metres, if you don't mind.
And stays on her feet too.
Hilmawana, who led that haka with such passion. He's done it many times now for New Zealand Māoris and also this team. McGregor, again, an awkward kick with the pressure coming. Australia let it bounce. And Upton will use Robinson.
It was good inside pressure there on the kick from the Jillaroos. That's what actually forced that awkward, unorthodox-looking style. Came off the outside of her boot, but it paid off. If the Kiwis here can just get that physicality back, own the ruck, put some more pressure on the Jillaroos, force an error.
What a grand final Jamie Chapman had playing at left centre for the Gold Coast Titans. She's out on the wing outside of Isabel Kelly tonight. And look for strike on that side from Australia. There's Koenig. Used to seeing her on the right edge for her club team, playing on the left edge here this evening. And Aiken spotted a chance down the short side, making it work for Kelly, and Nichols.
Good tackle.
Effectively a try saver because Davis was there. Not sure if Izzy saw her. Fires it back to Brigginshaw. Crossfield kick was on display in the final. It didn't quite work like that. It's a 7-tackle set here.
I misfired that kick, Ali, and she'll be cranky with herself. She knows she had a great opportunity, but this was a wonderful break. Aiken getting the ball on the front foot like that is exactly what they need to continue doing down that left edge. There's plenty of strike out there, and Izzy Kelly got rocked by a tackle by Arpy Nichols out back.
Nichols played for the Canberra Raiders this season and was one of their best throughout the campaign. There's Hufanga, 10 tries in 10 games for the Broncos, and look at Australia get to her in numbers.
I don't know if 4's enough.
When they get close to the attacking part of the field, Mele Hufanga can just cause all sorts of drama. She's so hard to stop. It's got to be your go-to close to the line.
Here's Layshawn Albert-Jones, premiership winner with the Newcastle Knights in her first season. Held down for a long time. Late in the tackle count, best field position so far for the Kiwis. Nice pass from Quinlan for Hufanga. And turning Leanne Tafunga back underneath. McGregor getting in position here. Receives it eventually from Quinlan and tumbles it down towards Upton. And the footwork exemplary from Australia's #1.
They're just getting the little parts of the game right at the moment, the Jillaroos. Their line speed and numbers in defence, containing the Kiwi Ferns pretty well for now. They've got some dangerous players. We saw them try and throw the footy around once in that set, but just so well contained with numbers. Ooh, that could have been forward.
And called as such.
Yeah.
Brigginshaw to Chapman.
Well, here we go.
Shot clock on.
This is the best shot that they've had, the Kiwis. See what the Jillaroos do in defence.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they set up off this scrum as well. They're going for a midfield scrum. The previous scrum we saw from them, they loaded up 4 and 2. This looks like a more traditional 3-3. No, up he's going.
Anderson locks it and comes to the left for Hufanga. Trying to weave her way to the outside, and Robinson did well, even though she was being handled by Hufanga.
It's like we're not teammates today, Jules.
It's Tiakaranga Katoa again. Helps set the tone for New Zealand here. They're #10. Hale. McGregor short ball for Albert-Jones. Inside the red zone with ball in hand for the first time. Back to the middle they come for Hale. No looker for Tiakaranga Katoa once more. Now a chance to put into work all those training sessions this week for a pet play on the last from in front of the uprights. More depth on the right-hand side, and they'll head that way. McGregor's kick, there's space for Biddle, and Nessa Biddle! Another debutante, and New Zealand have the reply, and it is spectacular.
Well, the Jillaroos had set up their numbers. They had it correct. They just lacked that line speed, and what that allowed was just gave Ray McGregor an extra step to measure her kick. As we see here on replay, see how there's no pressure coming at her inside, forcing her hand, and Biddle, who we know is a prolific try scorer, at the back end of the season. She didn't start the season that way, but she finds her way over the line first time for the Kiwi Ferns. What a great try.
Oh, it was classy. The service was great. So Racine McGregor got perfect ball, and just the way she shaped this kick She was always going to kick it there, but she had the time to be able to execute. Her hips and her shoulders, it was all facing in the right position. She got the perfect amount of weight on that kick, and then Anessa Biddle to be there and to time it perfectly to polish things off. Game on.
And the first time that they're actually have a tackle in the 20, they come up with points, the Kiwi Ferns. That, I think the coach, Rick Henry, would be very happy with that.
So the Dally M Rookie of the Year, Anessa Biddle, with the first points for New Zealand here on her debut. And the two players we highlighted pre-game, Tamika Upton and Anessa Biddle, with the first 2 tries of the game. Tough conversion for Racine McGregor, who produced the try assist. She's the reigning Golden Boot winner, of course, best player in the world last year. Strikes it and waved away.
Time off.
So Biddle, a try unconverted. New Zealand back within 2 points, and you can witness international footy live at Amy Park on October 28 in a fortnight's time. Just set up for New Zealand in time. The Jillaroos face off against the Kiwi Ferns, followed by the Kangaroos clash with the Kiwis. Secure your seats now to witness the pride of the Pacific. Head to nrl.com/tickets.
Just went too early there, Mato.
So many changes to the 17 that turned out for the World Cup final for New Zealand. 11 ins in total, including the likes of Biddle, Anderson, Tafunga and Tiakaranga Katoa. They've all had a say in this opening salvo. Oh, great hit. Under the footy from Mato.
Well, again, her 2 Titans teammates know the danger that Georgia Hale presents. Got right up in her face.
Just keeps the legs pumping, Tiakaranga Katoa.
That's a strong run.
Anderson and the other front rower. Contacts.
Oh, I felt that from here.
Moana plays it. Tiakaranga Katoa moving it on to McGregor this time. Couldn't get it on the outside when Nichols was looking to chime in. They head that way again. Oh, how's that for a deft kick from the back rower, if you don't mind?
She spent a little bit of time in the half, so she certainly backs herself in those scenarios. That is a tough place to start your set from for the Jillaroos.
Uncle Stacey would be pretty happy with that touch from Layshawn Albert-Jones.
Found the space too. Slot that grubber right through. Great little kick.
And they're completing better than Australia at the moment. I spoke to Brad Donald today, reflecting on that pool game, the 10-8 win for Australia, and he said 16 mistakes that day were nearly very costly.
Yeah, it certainly is, and when you're coming up against a team that has the strike that the Kiwi Ferns have, you can't afford to give them cheap possession. So we'll be wanting to tighten the strings on that one.
Brigginshaw finds a way through. And nice leap from RP Nichols to contain that. All the way back to the 40. Momentum with the Kiwi Ferns.
Well, this is where the back 3 for the Kiwi Ferns will really come and roll their sleeves up. Tafunga just bit off 12 metres. Here's Mela Hufanga.
Here she is.
And then you watch Anessa Biddle and Shanice Parker get involved as well. She's still going. Goodness.
Had the arm free as well, but
and a good play to him.
no thoughts of an offload. Already changes being made. Nevada George, who was one of the standouts for the West Tigers this season. Won't lose anything with her coming off the bench.
Yeah, she's got a great offload too. Always keen to get that second phase footy going. If she's got support around her, that's when she's most dangerous.
McGregor, pressure on the kick, and that was elite pressure. And they get a 7-tackle set out of it, the Jillaroos.
Well, they learned their lesson from giving up points off the last kick that Ray McGregor put up. This time, they hit their assignment, they get up, put some pressure on her, and she's doing too much weight on that one.
Cracking start this to the Pacific Championships. Jeremy Chapman looking for a quicker play the ball than that. Artur, no look past the confidence of these middle forwards for Australia.
Look at that work, Georgia Hale. This will go unsung, but if you watch what she did there, she actually was able to turtle Simone Matafa on her back.
Oh, space for Surges. Released by Upton and was searching for Robinson. It was too tough a pass to pull off in the end.
Oh, that was so close, wasn't it? They found the space easy. That's worrying how easy they found the space. Again, Ali Brigginshaw involved with that combination with Tamika Upton. But that perfectly timed pass to Jess Surges, and then that last one was a little bit off. Probably should have played it safe there and just gone into contact, Jess, because she had Arpy Nichols right on her. But that's worrying signs how easily that opened up. Again, it's that combination with Ali Brigginshaw and Tamika Upton that breaks that first line of defence.
They fractured that left edge. They found a disconnect between Quinlan, who slipped over, and Hufunga wasn't able to fill the space. And I think tackle 2, Jess, if she had her time again, she'd take that tackle.
Didn't play in the semis for the Roosters, of course. Jess Surges with that finger injury. Would have played in the grand final, but the Roosters didn't get there, of course. Knocked off by the Titans in the semi. There's that offload from New Zealand. It was Poulet that time for Anderson. She was selected in the Prime Minister's 13 for Australia a couple of weeks back, Brooke Anderson, but then the call came from New Zealand. She's able to play for the Kiwi Ferns today. Nichols told to play it. Here's Nevada George once more. Oh, rocking shot over the top from Martor, making her tackles count today. Lovely passing. The halves combine. Early ball for Hufunga. What about this passing for the Kiwis? But one pass too many. Keely Davis takes the intercept.
I honestly thought it was probably 2 passes too many. The last one was obviously the intercept, but once Hufunga turned it back on the inside, they should have just pin the ears back, hit it down the tram line on that dotted line there, have a quick play the ball and play off the back of it. Missed opportunity for the Kiwis.
So Emma Tonegata already on for Australia. Played in that number 14 role at the World Cup as well in the final. Look for her in the number 14 jumper here. The Sharks superstar, another Dalian medalist out there, and look at the run here, the energy provided. Aiken, what a low pass. Still able to stab the kick away, and Arpy Nichols was a standout for the Kiwis in the World Cup last year. And there's Tonegata, awkward looking tackle. I think she's okay.
Yeah, she's up and moving, but that's what you've got to do. You come on straight away, get a touch, get a tackle, shake the nerves off, and she's definitely playing with physicality.
So too Biddle targeting the dummy half in the opposition line. It's a quick play the ball for Anderson. Here's a look at the contact there. Yeah, it was head clash between those two, so they'll be viewing that. The medical authorities, might be an HIA candidate or two after that one. McGregor, stylish looking kick in between winger and fullback. Oh, Robinson! Grateful to see that flag go up in the end.
That had a wicked bounce. That was a hard left turn.
Thanks, mate.
Look at this. Hard left, and then it just sat straight up. Your heart's in your mouth when those bounces are going on.
No. You went early at Marco. Yeah. You got to hold.
Australia will welcome this. A little piggyback out of their own end.
Yeah, well, this is where the Kiwis really do need to maintain their discipline. They can't afford to give cheap possession and cheap metres away to the Jillaroos, because as we saw previously, their edges are being torn up quite easily, and I can see now Caitlin Johnston prowling the sideline. You watch her come on and create some havoc through the middle.
Kezzy Apps, one of the co-captains for Australia, along with Brigginshaw. And another change, Loz Brown on to play the dummy half role now. Her utility value giving her the edge over Shaylee Bent in that late change for Australia today. Here's Aiken.
Oh,
Upton holds on somehow in contact there with Parker.
Well, that was great from Shanice Parker to get up and take that time and space away from Tamika. She read that brilliantly.
Tonegado trying to weave a passage like she did for a try in that World Cup final. Brown will go back to the left. Aiken was screaming for it. And there's still one more play. Brigginshaw told her teammates where this one was heading. And safe under the high ball to Funga.
Oh, good defence.
And the ball comes loose. Australia will start 10 out here.
This was really good here from the Jillaroos. Ali Brigginshaw gave it enough air to allow her defenders to get down there and put pressure on her. Tafunga did well, but just in the contact zone, that's where the error happened. She catches it well, but here, pops it under one arm and then under significant pressure, loses that possession.
It had been a quiet start from Kezzy Apps, but seems to have moved into the middle and suddenly making things happen.
Yeah, first contact from Kezzy Apps was brilliant. That kick chase is so important. You can see here with the turnover.
Brown fires a long pass to Aiken. And New Zealand able to number up successfully. But they're under immense pressure here. Back to centre field they go for Taufa to set it up. Ball might have come loose there in contact on our angle, but the ref wasn't privy to that. Tonegado, great contact. Arpy Nichols, the fullback, stepping out in front of her line. Now Brigginshaw. Back on the angle goes Surgis. Oh, great tackle. Brooke Anderson, elite.
I'm not surprised.
But Martor, what an even better tackle. Defending their line so impressively so far. Fonga Vinny, if you don't mind. Another of the interchange forwards. Now Aiken's kick.
Oh, great chase.
So tough on Arpy Nichols as Koenig barreled through.
Well, that's 2 sets in a row that the kick chase has paid off for the Jillaroos. Koenig timed that chase and the contact perfectly, but Taryn Aiken found the space. She saw that little split and that tiny little fracture to put this grubber through, but what about that tackle? That was something else.
Shannon Marto at full speed. And Fongavini just got up and under the ribcage. What a beauty.
How good.
They tried the short one. And Surgis did well.
Was it quite short enough? One?
Caitlin Johnston, what a weapon to bring off the bench at this stage. When fatigue is kicking in for some.
Look at that.
Tonegado, Upton at speed. Trying to combine with Koenig. Forced it out the back to Upton. And it's play on for the Jillaroos. Oh, Taufa was searching for that try line.
Well, Ray McGregor is still down. This is why the referees called play up.
Play down.
I think it's Ray McGregor.
Yep.
He's grasping a hand or a wrist. But there's been some smashing goal line defence from the Kiwis. Just been putting their bodies in front, being very, very willing. And the Jillaroos just turning the screws of pressure a little bit here. Now, if there is an issue with Ray McGregor, they've got a pretty handy half on the bench, Fergo. Yeah, they sure do.
Looks like it was in that tackle against Koenig just at the end of it all when Koenig fell on that wrist.
Yeah, it looked awkward, yeah.
So Tyler Nathan Wong, does she look like she's staying up?
Yeah, no strapping or anything, so maybe just got caught awkwardly.
Yeah, the potential of the Dragons teammate replacing another. Anderson has earned this rest.
She had a great first stint, Brooke Anderson.
Well, Nathan Wong's coming on, I'm assuming at 9. For HIA.
Making her debut and representing New Zealand in a 5th different sport, if you don't mind. Here's Johnston back on the angle. They'll do well to hold her up. She's spun over and scored a try just a couple of minutes after coming on. She knows how to make an impact.
Wow, what a play. They had time to recover the Kiwi Ferns. They knew they had to defend her and get numbers on the ball, but Caitlin Johnston, she is some special player in our game at the moment. Just coming back, just that late little angle, but she was at Georgia Hale. She's one of the best defenders in our game. knows tactically how to defend as well, and just targets between the two. Look at her legs. Don't stop moving till she gets there, and that late spin. That's brilliant stuff from Caitlin Johnston.
It's a really nice set play there. You saw Lauren Brown come out. The threat on the right was Emma Tonegado, who has been very threatening with the football, and she's got a passing game. So the defence on that side really shoot up, and they try and shut her down. But then they forget the threat of Caitlin Johnston coming back against the grain like that. And it was a hit and spin. She caught the edge defence on the right on their heels, and when she gets that close, it is very difficult to stop her. Just look at this here. Lauren Brown hops out. You see the threat there. They overcorrect, and this spin was lovely by Johnston.
Ashley Klein in the bunker just surveyed all of the angles to confirm the referee's decision in the end. And Ali Brigginshaw lining up another conversion attempt here. The margin back out to 6. Chance to edge it out beyond a converted try.
They're scoring in the right spots, the Jillaroos.
Study of concentration, and Brigginshaw adds 2 more. So 4th test for Caitlin Johnston, and 2 tries now in her Jillaroos career. Let's get some breaking news with Danica Mason.
Yes, we've just heard from the officials. Brooke Anderson, who did go off for that head injury assessment, it has been classified as category 2 symptoms, so she'll be going through the protocols over the next 15 minutes, and we'll give you an update as soon as we know.
Thank you, Danica. Here's another interchange player, Kennedy Cherrington, 2 tries in the World Cup final.
Well, so far, the interchange on the Jillaroos has been immense. Emma Tonegado, Caitlin Johnston and Lauren Brown. So now we get to see Kennedy Cherrington get to work.
Tonegado again, and all the interchange players combining. Right on cue.
She was also in the PMs a couple of weeks ago. The captain, I think.
Here's Apps. Yeah, missed a lot of footy. Kennedy Cherrington spoke about that this week with that 4-game suspension. So fresh and ready to go for the international season. Nichols. I've been worried about the crossbar if that went another metre or 2.
What about the chase?
Oh,
stop.
They turned their back on her for a moment there.
That's a sight.
No markers at all. So Biddle looking to go off the back of it. And strong arm defence from Johnston. Used that bumper bar well for the try as well. Look at the welcoming committee for Amalia Pasakala on her international debut.
They're just swarming now, the Jillaroos. Kiwi's only travelled 27 metres in this set of 6, or 33, there you go.
The only player that really tested them that set was Mele Hufanga. If she can stay rested enough to be able to have that impact every carry, as well as when she's in defence, what a dangerous player.
Very important set here for New Zealand defensively. Australia able to start inside the opposition half. Oh, nice. Cherrington lost it. And Pasakala makes an important contribution there, the double knock-on in the end.
Good tackle, good urgency, good line speed from Pasakala. We saw her really burst onto the scene with the Roosters this year as more of an edge back row. But this is a really good defensive read here. She knew she had to get up, shut that threat down.
What about the rise in 2023 for Pasakala? Started the year in Tasha Gale Cup for the Bulldogs.
There's a few girls in this Kiwi side that have had an incredible...
It's reefed out one-on-one by Surgis, but there were multiple players in the tackle at that time, says the referee.
I'd be breathing a sigh of relief if that was me.
It's one of her pet plays. Ali Brigginshaw came in to help her out.
Very good referee is Todd Smith. Well, coming up, the Men's Pacific Championships kicks off. The Kangaroos face Samoa in another World Cup final rematch. It's live on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Same venue. Oh, looking up and seeing Johnston and company, Fongavini could not hold on.
It wasn't the right pass selection there by Nathan Wong. She held it too long. And look at this break down this right edge by the Jillaroos. She just held the ball too long, and then when she gave it, it was a very hard pass at the chest of Fongavini. Nice tackle.
Cherrington. How dangerous is Upton looking wherever she chimes into this back line? And you've got Tonegado to worry about as well from a New Zealand perspective.
Well, she's been good because she's implemented her passing game and her running game on the Tonegado, or got that one wrong.
Well, Chapman did well to tidy up after a couple of Jillaroos lost their footing.
Just hitting the same hole there.
Johnston taken down. Nice early contact from Fongavini in the team for her defence. Now Brigginshaw. Deft little kick. Oh! Ball pinballing around here, knocked on by Nichols initially, and Australia get it back once more.
Yeah, it was a great kick from Ali Brigginshaw. You just see the way she kicked the footy. It wasn't a traditional grubber kick where it went end over end. It just turned that little bit, and they're so hard to collect. As a defender coming onto the ball, as RP Nichols did, so hard, but a lot easier for an attacker if it did go over the try line to just dive and push down and apply that force to be able to score the try. So technically a great kick, good execution from Ali Brigginshaw. While it didn't lead to points, they get another crack here. So great pressure again from their chase.
Upton, right-hand side, Tamika Upton! It's oh so easy. She is just that good.
Well, the midfield scrum, this is exactly what you want to happen. You see how they set up. We'll go back when we see it on replay. They set up really nice and wide. So what that actually does, it allows Upton to get the ball on the outside of her defender. And then she just holds the ball in two hands and just keeps the defensive line guessing. When you're this close to the line, you have to get up quick. But here she spots that Georgia Hale is her defender one-on-one. And this is just identifying what your strengths are, where you can get them. And you see this defence sliding out here. She throws the dummy, slips straight through. And how many times do we see her do this through a season, honestly?
Is it just me, or does time slow down when Tamika Upton gets the footy? She is unbelievable, but that was such a great shot. The camera work on that was brilliant. To be able to see Tamika Upton and her intent, the way she held the footy in two hands. She already beat mismatch for pace Georgia Hale, but just to suck Mello Hufanga in, she got her with the eyes. The footy was in two hands and went, you know what, I know I can gas you with my pace, and I'm going to do that on your inside shoulder. She's such a talented player with so much intent behind everything she does.
Toughest kick so far for the co-captain, Ali Brigginshaw, and this will be waved away.
No goal. Time off. Kick. Hang on a sec.
Well, work commitments and injuries have conspired against Tamika Upton until now from playing for the Jillaroos. And Brad Donald, who was appointed in 2017, who has a 13-0 record as Jillaroos coach, is so pleased to have Upton as part of his arsenal now. And the penalty earned by Kennedy Cherrington in the end for the high shot, and she gave it to her opponents, as she tends to do.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Jillaroos were lucky to get away with that one. The previous play the ball was
Georgia
ugly at best.
From Johnston.
And then it was just play on, so fortunate to get away with that one, but again, opting for a tap midfield.
So Georgia Hale involved in the tackle there, just placed on report for that tackle on Cherrington before it. Aiken slipped out of one tackle.
Look at the way she moves.
Beat three in the end, and no one there to latch onto it off the back of it. It was early in the count. So Plenty of time for the Jillaroos to go to work. Johnston once more. Fonga Vinny again.
Jeez, isn't she taking it as a personal badge to just get in front of all the big players? Lost ball here.
This time, a mistake in the play the ball by Johnston is spotted.
We're down the scrum.
Well, 30 seconds to go.
Okay, shot clock on.
The Kiwis, they've got to travel a good 70 metres to get themselves down. I think they'll probably only get 2 tackles out of this. Yep. Just trying to be a little too quick.
Showing some adventure here. And Australia have the answers defensively. Just time for one more play. Mufunga. The big don't argue on Kennedy Cherrington. And the siren sounds. Australia with a late blitz at the back end of the first half. A first half double on an international debut for Tamika Upton, grabbing the headlines again. The 2-time Karen Murphy medalist and 4-time premiership winner. Thank you, James. 3 tries to 1 right now in favour of the Jillaroos, who won their 3rd successive World Cup last year against New Zealand at Old Trafford. And the next cycle really begins now, the World Cup cycle for both of these countries. Kickoff is a floater and taken with confidence by Pasakala. Not many would have taken that on.
I tell you what, she took it confidently, but the Jillaroos defence was right up in her face as well.
To Hilmawana, back for her 2nd stint. Anderson's out there as well, so that's good news for New Zealand after her HIA in the first half. Parker throws the dummy, and it nearly opened up for Shanice. His mum, Danielle, was a Jillaroo, played in the 2000 World Cup, had to pay her own way. And Shanice Parker representing her father's side, playing for New Zealand here. And so a Marley All-Star. There's Georgia Hale. Nathan Wong. Hung up. Dealt with after the kick as well, Tyler Nathan Wong. Some New Zealand fans up in arms about that, but all above board. Short side for Upton. What a first 35 minutes in her international career. Working their way back to centre field where Tonegato is looking to do some damage, but she's finished off with emphasis. There's Anderson and Hilmawana. Somehow Hilmawana are able to get involved in the follow-up tackle as well. Brigginshaw's kick had room to move and find some grass as well.
Yeah, way too much time to kick that footy then, and I think that's one of the differences between these two teams. Their kick chase, but also the kick pressure. You need to get up in her face, take that time away, put some pressure on her. Here's a run though. Melo Hufanga looks so dangerous with momentum.
Well, an interesting change for the Kiwis at halftime with Brooke Anderson passing her HIA. It looks like they've actually used an interchange and brought her back on and taken Ash Quinlan off. That's why Tyler Nathan Wong is out on that left edge.
The Dragons halves combination from the NRLW season in action here for New Zealand. Hale, ball playing lock for McGregor. Running onto it at speed was Poulet, and they saw it coming and closed the gap. Kezi Apps and Brigginshaw, the co-captains. Touched here by New Zealand, so a live ball. Upton maintained composure. Kiwi Ferns haven't beaten Australia since 2016 in the Anzac Test in Newcastle. 7 years between drinks, and it'll take something special here to turn it around.
It was a good year, that one. The first one that I captained. It was a very, very proud moment for me.
No way through for Upton this time, who did so much damage on that side in the first half. Again, a high tackle on Cherrington. High-ish tackle, but okay. And Brigginshaw had time, but this time onto the chest of the winger, Leanne Tafunga. Started her career with the Roosters and now a Tiger. Tyler Nathan Wong at dummy half there. Has played for New Zealand in rugby sevens, an Olympic gold medalist. Also played touch, tag and 15-a-side rugby union. Now playing in the Rugby League national team. 5 international call-ups.
She's such a great player. She's got speed and skill. But also, the thing you don't get to see when she's on the field, she's a champion person, Tyler Nathan Wong. So she'll be a very important person in any team that she's a part of, for sure.
Getting married this summer as well. Here she is again. Nathan Wong. Poulet got through the line and worried about running behind another teammate there, so didn't push the offload.
The left edge just broke down. Hufunga was tying her shoelaces back up as Ray McGregor just tries to punch this one through.
How's the bounce? Patience from Robinson.
Given the bounce Julia saw previously in the first half, she's probably right to be wary and sit back off that one.
Straight back into the action off the 20-metre tap. Made her debut against New Zealand, as so many of these players did. It was in 2018 at Mount Smart for Robinson.
It was a really strong start to the set. They had that extra tackle up their sleeve. It just started by a couple of their outside backs. The last one just Surges. Look how many numbers they need. They need 4 people just to contain Caitlin Johnston.
And again, a mistake. 4 in the tackle. She was working hard holding Racine McGregor in there, but they slung her to the deck and got the error they wanted.
There was a lot happening in this tackle. If you watch this back on replay, there was plenty going on.
Holding on to her. Hang on a sec.
Someone's down in back play. Who's
Shot clock
that?
off.
She's, I think she's unwell. Crook. Jess. Get her out and in.
And quickly put the hand up saying, don't take me off.
Okay, heads in!
So New Zealand with the centre field scrum just inside their own
Avoiding that
half.
patch of grass, personally.
They're headed that way straight away.
Oh, Miller, don't.
The ICC Cricket World Cup continues live from India. Monday night, Australia take on Sri Lanka. That's a must-win match after an 0-2 start for the Aussies. You can watch it live. Australia against Sri Lanka live from 7 p.m. on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Plenty of time to turn it around, that campaign for Australia. McGregor, runners in motion, catch and pass. I think Biddle knocked it on. No, the ref said clean catch.
The ref said she's picked it up.
Hasakala, footwork, stepped around Chapman and thought about the offload. What can they do on the final play? McGregor's kick. How's the bounce? Oh, horror bounce for Nathan Wong. They do get a repeat set out of it.
Well, they forced the hand here for the Jillaroos, but that was a lovely kick. It travelled beautifully along the ground, but it looks like there's another change here for the Kiwi Ferns. So Shanice Parker is playing fullback, so Arpy Nichols is off. I'm assuming that could potentially be from that head injury, but watching that live, I thought she knocked that on. So they get away with this one, the Kiwi Ferns, but how about the speed of Nathan Wong?
Julia Robinson to clean that up. I've been really impressed with Brooke Anderson out of dummy half. Her service, that entire set, when it counts, that first pass, accurate, crisp. She chooses the right option.
What about Loz Brown, who kicked 2 of the best field goals you'll see this year? Just took the line drop out. It was an absolute scrubber right along the deck. Hits them sweet when she has to.
When the pressure's on.
The ground's a bit different under the pace. It's not as flat.
Here's Hale. Try here for New Zealand, and it's game on again. Anderson, lovely pass from McGregor. Throwing the dummy back inside, and Tonegado able to get down low and stop the Kiwi playmaker. Anderson from dummy half. Should be told to go back 10.
Time off. Just straight back at the last
You know what, the Jillaroos scrambled well, and I heard their communication saying that she'll go, she'll go. They got there in numbers and shut that down.
Last tackle.
So a bit of a hold-up before the final play. This time through the hands for Nathan Wong. Hufunga back on the angle. Oh, how's the footwork? Malay Hufunga! Inspirational! A solo try on the last, and it's game on again in the test match.
This is where they're at their strongest. When Mela Hufanga is coming back against the grain like this is what she's best at. A nice pass out of dummy half, but Tyler Nathan Wong just holds up Kezi Apps on the inside, and then it's all Mela Hufanga Fergo. It's all her, all power, all passion, all over the line.
Watch what the Jillaroos do here when she uses her feet. See you later. But then she's got the pace and the power to go over. She's so dangerous. She knows it. Look at that. Quite understated when you speak to her, quite calm. A lovely person, but put her close to the line and she's an absolute wrecking ball. The footwork and the pace, throw in the power, that's absolute dynamite, and we have a game on our hands, Speedy.
What about this footwork to dance around Kennedy Cherrington? Oh, didn't know where she'd gone.
But she did that, then she picked the pace up and was able to continue over. What the put down? The one-handed put down. There's 3 Jillaroos hanging off her.
She just went through Ali Brigginshaw, the best defensive
Kezi Apps,
half in the game.
Kennedy Cherrington,
Tamika Upton,
Caitlin Johnston.
Important conversion this, and slotted. Well, 10 tries in as many games for the Broncos, and now a big try here to set this stadium alight from Mela Hufanga. Been around a long time now. Seen her in the 15-a-side rugby game and now in the rugby league world. A superstar.
Well, it was the perfect example of knowing how much of a threat she is, particularly that close to the line. Being able to identify that set play, but just running through everyone with the footwork and the pace is outstanding. She's so hard to stop.
Loves playing at this joint as well. It was 4 tries against the Cowboys in one game earlier this year in the NRLW, of course.
I'm pretty sure one of them looked exactly like that too. Just down the other end of the field. Incredible.
Anderson, her return from the HIA has been super important for New Zealand. And Arpy Nichols will soon return from her HIA as well. It was a belated one after their head clash with Tonegata, perhaps. What a kick that is. All the way down to Upton, coming off her own try line. Uses the winger Robinson.
Yeah, the chase is a bit disjointed here, though.
Australia just looking for a spark. 11 minutes into the second half. New Zealand have enjoyed a great little patch in this game.
This set's going to script. Great support play in combination between Upton and Robinson to get things started. A couple of outside backs. That's a great run by Caitlin Johnston off the back of that momentum. They just need to earn some territory.
Just to make sure the play the ball does this time. Tonegata for Brigginshaw. Goes to Apps when Upton was out the back.
They've gone out the back there.
They had numbers too, didn't they?
Down the short side, Brigginshaw's kick, and the winger happy to watch that go across the sideline. Interesting, Apps who's talked about her love of playing on the left edge, and Koenig plays on the right edge all year for the Roosters, and they've flipped sides here for the Jillaroos.
It is strange. Kezi Apps there, she is playing that right edge role, as you said, Speedy. She is also the player that would absolutely play anywhere that the coach and the team needed her to, so I'm sure there's a reason behind it. Plenty of players would say, nah, not a chance, but she'll go in the middle, she'll go on her edge. Great team play, that one.
Ooh, Loz Brown just gripping that left arm after that contact. Keep an eye on that.
And there is Apps involved defensively. That might have been part of the equation. Getting those defensive combinations right on either edge. Nowhere for Hale to go. Brigginshaw holding on throughout. A couple of co-captains head-to-head there. Oh, no-look pass, and it showed, but McGregor made it work. Back to Nichols, and now Nathan Wong for the dangerous Hufanga. Slips out of another tackle or two. Eventually able to play it on the last. McGregor spiralling one down. Upton didn't fancy it. Let it bounce. And Chapman out the back. Tamika tidies up in the end, but a very near thing for Australia.
What a great kick from Racine McGregor. Turned the footy, hit it on the belly of the ball, so it was wobbly. And probably the height of Chapo, and Tamika Upton being there just to support her, got them over the line. But that was a wonderful kick. Great hang time.
What about where it lands? Right between them.
And she did well just to get up there. No surprise as well, Tamika Upton being there just in case, in support. Doesn't miss a beat.
I thought Tamika might have been able to get there on the full, but she sort of didn't follow the footy. Have they found a weakness in Tamika Upton's game there?
I think it's just it was just a miscommunication between the two, because where it landed was smack bang. Both of them could have run onto it, but there was obviously just a little bit of miscommunication or lack of.
Brigginshaw with time to kick from inside the 40. So 40-30s in the NRLW rules, but straight to Biddle on the chest. And look at this field position for New Zealand, trailing by just the single converted try here.
Yeah, she just hasn't got the distance in her kick right this game, Ali Brigginshaw. Plenty of time to execute the kick.
She's kicking into a northerly as well, wasn't it? A northerly wind?
Yeah, Darren Lockyer told us that with the conditions report at the start of the game. So the breeze at the backs of the Kiwis, and they're utilising it here.
I'm going to try and keep it a little lower and drive it more towards the corners.
Parker popping up everywhere. Back into that centre position. After helping out at fullback when Nichols was out of play. Eventually Fongavini got to dummy half. The Kiwis switched off for that play. It's a bit of a negative play at the back end of this set. What can McGregor produce this time? Through the hands. Nathan Wong, space created. Oh, what an important defensive read that is by Robinson, getting to Hufanga in time.
She absolutely had to shut this one down, Julia Robinson. Mela Hufanga was just winding up. You can see her starting to spot up the try line. Nice movement out to the left. Nathan Wong getting the centre interested, and Jules Robinson just came in from that blind side and shut it down well.
I'll tell you what it does do too. They know their threat. They know that Mela Hufanga is that threat. Julia Robinson coming in, it opens up an opportunity potentially for a little kick to the winger or even that cutout pass. If they're all bunched in and worry about her as the first threat, if you can just take the footy to the line and have that last-minute decision from Racine McGregor, there could be space and opportunity for players around Melee.
That was a flat pass to Martor. Better service this time for Aiken, and straight through goes Koenig. Upton looming, was being held onto throughout there.
She was held onto before she caught that, I'm pretty sure, by Fongavini.
But they can't check it out now because the play's over. So Tamika Upton blowing up, and rightfully so. The ref had a great view of that.
Well, the touching was in line with it too.
Hang on.
But Fongavini gets away with one there. And I had a thought process. I think maybe why Koenig is playing on the left is because she's played here. She's being held on to quite clearly.
Oh.
That's shocking.
That's a bad miss.
At 16-10, that is a woeful miss from the referees. That's a game changer.
Yeah, it could be. Or it could pop them into hyperdrive.
Because it's 10 in the bin scenario for Fongavini.
It is. Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
But if you get away with it, you've got to credit the smarts of Fongavini in some regards. But the people in pink, Belinda Sharp on this near side and Todd Smith in the middle, should have spotted that one.
I would have had sweaty palms thinking, just waiting for the whistle, the hammer to drop.
From inside the 40, using the breeze, and Upton across in time to deny McGregor that 40-30. It's on, though, the way that kick travelled. Pasakala takes her leave after a sensational opening shift in the Kiwi Ferns jumper. Oh, Anderson again, flipping Robinson over.
She's got such a good tackle tech, Brooke Anderson. Oh, again, there's a very flat service coming out of dummy half for the Jillaroos. But Brooke Anderson is a very strong defender.
Right on cue, the #1 dummy half about to get back out there, Keely Davis. As Loz Brown, her number has been called. She departs, so Martor has to help out. A pretty good effort too. Oh, set up for Upton! Tamika Upton has options finds a pretty good one. What a try saver.
great.
Nichols got there and denied Tonegado. How did New Zealand hold on there?
Well, that was outstanding read from RP Nichols. A great read. Her timing was perfect, but that set play from the Jillaroos was outstanding. We get another look at it here. Taranaki. That inside pass was perfect. Upton holds it up to Emma Tonegado, but the read and the timing on that tackle from RP Nichols, exceptional to stop that try.
Remember, it's a 70-minute game. So plenty of time for New Zealand, but they can't afford to fall behind by 2 converted tries. Here she goes again. Mele Hufunga crawling for another metre or 2 at the end of it all.
And she can make metres anyway. Running, walking, crawling, whatever.
Tiakaranga Katoa refreshed and ready to go for stint number 2. Great ball control again for a quickish play of the ball. Back on the angle. Space here for Poulet. Bust them. Still going. Has the arm free and no one loomed on her shoulder. She'll play it on the last here, just inside the red zone. McGregor, again the kick. Over the top of the winger. How's the bounce? Nichols and Robertson, I think, batted that dead.
I don't know if Chapman touched
Chapman
this
did rather.
last.
I think she did.
Or was it touched first by Nichols and then Chapman, because then that would be a knock-on.
Well, the bunker's having a look at this very replay right now.
Well, this will give us the best view, I think. Nichols. Oh, no, I think Chapman might have touched it.
Doesn't matter. Any touch by Nichols in the whole situation, and that's Australia 20-metre attack. Any touch, and that's just been found. Yep, it's just been found by the bunker, Ashley Klein. So, not quick. They'll have to wait here for New Zealand to get in their defensive position. But talk about game changers.
Wow, wasn't that close though. The Kiwi Ferns made their way through the middle twice then. Just tired defence and inaccurate defence. Keely Davis is in the middle. She's fresh legs. It's just come on. She missed the play the ball just before that. So there's a little bit of fatigue. It's a great spot to target to get that momentum for the Kiwi Ferns. But the Jillaroos just need to get out of their own half here.
They took off one of their field goal threats in Loz Brown, but Australia with a 6-point lead might start thinking about that at some stage.
Well, Ali Brigginshaw was pretty handy.
I know we haven't seen her do it yet, but surely Tamika can do that too.
Wouldn't surprise me.
What can't she do?
Me if she could.
Down that short side for Brigginshaw. Upton. Oh, she does try the kick and knocked on by Tiakaranga Katoa in the slips cordon.
Just forced to play it, this one, Tiakaranga Katoa. Upton loomed back on the inside. Here's this play. So it was touched first by Chapman, then touched by Nichols, and then it travels out. So the ball's not dead until it's actually out in the dead ball area. It was just a reaction. That wasn't even, I don't even think that was a decision for her to touch that Tiakaranga Katoa. She was just reacting.
Yeah, great reflexes, but couldn't hold on. An argument to say it may have gone backwards as well. Here's Upton, and that time New Zealand able to get numbers out to contain her from a centre field scrum route.
Yeah, I think her hands were facing the opposition, so that's probably why it was deemed that. But they shut down the threat this time, the Kiwis.
Oh, no looker from Mator to Taufa, who's yet to score a try in Australian colours, her 13th test today. Brigginshaw, Apps back on the angle, the co-captains combining. Australia knocking on the door again. Oh, Davis spotted something from dummy half. Pretty crafty work again by Australia's number 9, and they'll send it upstairs as a no try.
Coming to tackle 4, we have the ball short. Just also review any interference from the player who played the ball also on tackle 4.
My initial thought was the interference, where she goes into the back legs there. But she is definitely short.
No player has been interfered with from making a tackle. The Keely Davis is tackled short of the try line. We have a decision.
Taking her arm off the ball.
I was going to
there.
say, does she lose it, or is if the whistle's gone before that, it'll be all right. But if not,
so they need to marry up the vision and listen for when the whistle goes there. Instead, Australia look like maintaining possession and playing it just a metre out through Keely Davis as they check on Tessa Poulet.
I think she's coming off.
Are we going HIA or? Yeah, okay, take off.
That is a shame, because she caused a lot of havoc through the ruck
Yeah, she's been so strong.
It's tackle 4.
So they'll wait for New Zealand to get that replacement player out there. Wouldn't be fair to let them defend with 12 in this situation. They're taking a little while to come up with that option off the bench.
Look at the depth of this Jillaroos lineup. They're set, ready to go, ready to fire. It's the third when they get that play the ball from Kiwi Davis. Look at this depth.
So one rooster for another. Pasakala, they had to find her in the dressing room to send her back out there. Tonegado, depth here.
Oh.
Pass hits the deck. Oh, almost an argument for offside. Doesn't matter now. New Zealand tidy up and Australia could not click into gear there.
Well, sometimes that's the issue when it's so premeditated. It was just catch pass. They had the 2 forwards running through, Samaima Taufa leading the charge. And it was all so premeditated that they were just worried about what the call was prior to that.
That was so awkward, and a potential hip drop here from Jamie Chapman that they'll check on as well in the bunker. The body bending back under the weight down low.
Yeah, I'd have to see the replay on that. It was very awkward, but here's that play that we were talking about. It just lands between the two. I don't think that's a hip drop, but I think the injury comes when she's being bent over backwards. So when they talk about a hip drop, the majority is she's going to be put on report, but the bulk of the body weight of the defender must land on the lower limbs of the player. There, I feel like she's just being pulled down by her upper body, and the injuries come from when she was actually bent over on the ground.
Jamie Chapman will be worried about that, perhaps. An argument to say she landed on both legs with her body weight at some stage during that tackle, I think.
I disagree, but I'm not a ref, so.
Wait for the judiciary report tomorrow. So Quinlan into the dummy half roll at the moment. McGregor from Nathan Wong. Trying to duck her way under the tackle from Apps. Plenty of versatility being shown by so many of these players in different roles in this game, including Quinlan here from the Canberra Raiders into the dummy half position.
Yeah, I don't mind Ash Quinlan in the dummy half.
Parker trying to get rid of Aiken, who had Koenig for backup. Pasakala only out there because of the HIA, who was ready and waiting in support. Hale. McGregor. Oh, dropped it cold out of nowhere.
Oh, what a shame, because they had them for numbers. Out there on that left edge, Racine McGregor just worried about what she was going to do next, get that pass to her half. But that pass from Georgia Hale, just the extra layer that she's able to add to their attack is so important. It gave Racine McGregor that time, which of course she coughed up an error, but she's crucial to the way that they attack and play their footy, Georgia Hale.
Safety first from that centre field scrum inside their own red zone. Well, tomorrow from 1:30 p.m, it's a Pacific Championships doubleheader from Papua New Guinea. The women kick us off as Fetu Samoa take on the Fiji Bulakula, and then the PNG Kumals host the Cook Islands. It's live from 1:30 p.m. tomorrow on Nine's Wide World of Sports. How good to have International Rugby League coming your way over the next month on Nine. Tonegado, tackle right around the ball from Tiakaranga Katoa. A run with real purpose there from Mator, looking for a quick play of the ball.
And Lauren Brown's back on the field. Your favourite field goal specialist.
Briganshaw's kick, and the chase is on. Who wants it? Oh, Parker with bravery. Did a great interview this week, Shanice Parker, talking about how she's enjoying her discovery of her Māori culture day in, day out in these New Zealand camps. And here's Nichols, slipping the defensive line from the Jillaroos and from Taufa. There's plenty of backup. But look at this momentum being gained by Quinlan. 15 metres out of dummy half. We go past the hour mark, 10 minutes to go in the test match. Pasakala takes some stopping.
Shannon Marto that she ran over. Goodness me.
McGregor. Shaw ball handling this time. The chase is on. Robinson so safe under the high ball and quickly turns it into an attack potential. She's been hurt lower leg style by that tackle. Hale did well to get to Surgis, but she saw off that threat.
Well, so did Ali Brigginshaw from dummy half there. They got the timing of the play the ball wrong. Jess Surgis would have been offside. So Ali just jumps out, regains her feet, and then has Jess Surgis coming on at pace. Just those little moments in the game where you can see her class, just reacting to what's in front of her, and they're on the front foot as a result of it.
Right out in front of Aiken, had to search for it. Upton.
Move again.
Yep, that time not clocking off at marker. Great work by Pasacala, chopped her down. Aiken's kick. Nichols defending on the wing. Able to come and take that with Parker in the fullback role now. And Biddle coming from the other wing for work, important work at this stage of the game when the forwards are sucking in the big one through.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we know that the back five from both sides get through plenty of metres. And they really need to step up here for them, the Kiwi Ferns.
Moana playing with passion. Led the Harker earlier. Interested spectator, Big Mal, ready for his team to go to work in the follow-up game.
There's Adrian Lamb there as well.
It was, yeah. Run out of room that time, New Zealand. Australia maintaining that 6-point edge here in the first test match in the Pacific Championships.
Yeah, just trying to force something that wasn't really there. The play was to come back against the grain. Chapman was already pushing out. She came back against her. She might have been able to come up with a few extra metres and apply the ball in the field of play.
Taufa. Well, the referee was very vocal there, and New Zealand didn't obey the instructions at marker. All offside. Handy for Australia. Not thinking about the shot from penalty goal from this far out, but they can get in position and try and bump this margin out beyond the converted try. Ball comes loose. Did they have a shot from this range?
I think they're back there, 40.
Definitely backing to score some points, and there's a pretty handy blue shirt out there too for the Jillaroos.
Welcome to our viewers in Sydney who join us on 9 right now at a very interesting stage of this test match. The Jillaroos with a 6-point edge over New Zealand. Taufa putting the head down. Depth on the left-hand side. Upton ready to go to work off Taryn Aiken. Here she is, catch and pass. And Chapman tidies up. Did well, didn't panic with the ball behind her.
It's great urgent edge defence from the Kiwi Ferns to shut that off.
Trademark work from Loz Brown turning Martor. Oh, what an offload. Squeeze one out to Taufa. Space for Samoa. Only thinking one thing. And the ball came loose. New Zealand are still very much in the ball game. Another terrific defensive stand.
I think she just got her depth perception was a little bit off there because she reached that right arm out thinking she was closer than she was. And she was denied her first test try, as you spoke about earlier. But it was a lovely offload. Shannon Marto through the middle. You just see she really thinks, I can get there, and just unfortunately comes loose. How about some of this defence on the line by the Kiwis?
She was dreaming.
Go Gadget Arms.
She was dreaming. But yeah, outstanding defence from the Kiwi Ferns on their line. Very desperate, both on the edge and in the middle. And here's one of our favourites, Mele Hufanga. She's been an absolute weapon for the Ferns this game. Run over 150 metres.
This is our first World Cup final rematch of the night. Don't forget the Kangaroos against Samoa up next on 9. Elements of a crusher kind of action over the top from Apps, but Parker's okay to play it. Hale carries the ball in both hands and holds on this time. Shocking service. It's late in the count. Still a tackle up their sleeve, so McGregor doesn't force a kick, but who's going to take the kick now on the back foot?
Well, they've got Quinlan or Nathan Wong that get in position.
It's not going too far. A chance for Upton to hit the ground running here. Taken down by Hufanga.
She's definitely targeted Mele Hufanga this game on that right edge, both her inside and her outside shoulders. Great run by Jessica Surgis.
Can the Jillaroos land the killer blow here? Fresh legs in the middle as Elliston returns to the ball game in the number 10. Oh, nice set play. Open up an avenue for Kelly. Forces the pass out towards Chapman. Any thoughts of a field goal? Here's Loz Brown.
She's standing that flat, though, won't be.
And there's still a tackle here, and she's gone into dummy half, so they're thinking try. Upton and Brigginshaw ready to go to work right-hand side. But Aiken calls it her way. Pass for Chapman was a hospital pass. And knocked on. Forward pass, in fact, was the call.
Yeah, they were all very flat on that left edge. I was surprised that the overcall came because the numbers were there for the Kiwi Ferns. And the pass, she thought she might be able to get the winger, Anessa Biddle, really interested in bite up hard. Sorry, Uppy Nichols to bite up hard on the centre.
Usually if you make that overcall as a short side half, it's because you've got the numbers, which they didn't. Ali Brigginshaw was set on the right edge, nice and deep with Tamika Upton, their fullback. That's how you get that extra player and the advantage to try and strip them for numbers. Probably got that one wrong, the Jillaroos. What a game.
Yeah.
6 points in it, Speedy.
Last time they met, if you weren't with us earlier, 50 points the difference in the World Cup final. Hufanga looks to her outside. Tafunga was behind her. And not a whole lot of go forward at the moment here. 2.5 minutes to go. Can New Zealand find that converted try? Harker for Hale. And not a whole lot of adventure there either.
Probably need a bigger body running that line, I think. But she gets a nice play the ball away.
McGregor targeting a 40-30. No momentum. So Robinson able to take it on the fly this time.
Yeah, you watch the outside backs here of the Jillaroos just get to work. Already over halfway.
Oh, mistake. Here is what New Zealand were preying on.
Well, this is huge. This is huge. Just under a couple of minutes until the game wraps up. 6 points in it. And they get to start their set at halfway. This is massive for the Kiwi Ferns.
The mistake from Robinson. Only really time for one full set, you'd imagine. Need to finish it with a try. Interesting feed there by Nathan Wong. Parker, a gap opens up here, finds the pass, running out of room, Nichols, and flicks it back inboard like a rugby play. What were New Zealand thinking there on the opening play? Australia have it back.
They got a little bit too excited. Great defensive read from the Jillaroos to get a couple of numbers over there and just use that sideline as an extra defender. Ali Brigginshaw takes matters into her own hands. Great tackle.
Oh, it got away from Biddle.
Yeah, they're not happy.
It's Ali Brigginshaw, the victim of the dumping tackle by Anessa Biddle, and the referee waits for the bunker to weigh in here.
Well, it's pretty rare to see Ali Brigginshaw stay on the deck. They've stopped the clock. But Anessa Biddle, it was great contact, just took it a little. It's borderline.
Yeah, we talk about going past the horizontal, but almost stayed at the horizontal.
It did. I thought it was really good contact when I first saw it in real time. Very close anyway.
But imagine being in Ali Brigginshaw's shoes. Once you lose contact with the ground, you're helpless.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a nice feeling. She certainly would have got the wind taken out of her at the very least. But that's footy. I don't think it was too unsafe, although the ref might think otherwise.
Okay, you lift it and put it into a dangerous position, okay? It's on record and 10 minutes in the sim bin.
So the Kiwis will finish the game with 12 players here. The sim bin for Anessa Biddle in the final minute of the test match. Started so well with the try-on debut. And Ali Brigginshaw leaves the field for an HIA after this tackle. So that contact afterwards as well, once Brigginshaw hit the deck, that did some damage too, may have prompted the HIA.
Hopefully she recovers okay, Ali Brigginshaw, because she's a very tough footballer, that one.
Australia with a week off before facing the same opposition in Melbourne in a fortnight's time. The Kiwis have to back up next week in a triple header of rugby league action at Eden Park in Auckland. Looking forward to bringing you 2 of those games on Nine's Wide Water Sports, the 2 internationals. Australia looking to ice this game. They don't need to do much, do they? Clock very much in their favour, but they'd love to finish it off with a try. Matur. Aiken had to search. And does the disciplined thing in the end after tracking that ball down.
You thought about it.
Siren sounds, and the Jillaroos beat their Trans-Tasman rivals again. 7 wins in a row against New Zealand for Australia. But what a contest it was in a World Cup final rematch. The crowd thoroughly entertained in Townsville. It finishes at full time. Australia 16, New Zealand 10.